It's Thanksgiving week, so of course we are going to talk about gratitude. We are not, however, going to perpetuate the mythology of pilgrims and natives sitting down to a friendly dinner, unless it is to remind ourselves that every one of us of European descent was once an immigrant, and every one of us of African descent was likely brought here as an enslaved person. There. Happy Thanksgiving. Rather than perpetuate mythologies, I am much more interested in our lived experience. It is good to pause at least once a year and consider the blessings in our lives. Whether those blessings are the result of good genes, wise investing, or the kindness of strangers is not the point. The point is that we acknowledge those blessings and recognize that none of us are self-derived. All of us are part of a web of life that connects us with every other aspect of life. Today, the children taught us that each of us has an invisible cup always at hand. Get it? Always at hand. I'm here all week. So, if you will, bring your hands together to create a cup, an empty cup into which we can pour trickles or oceans of gratitude. Maybe your cup is small, with an opening so tiny that only a grain of sand could make its way inside. So be it. We all have to start somewhere. Maybe your gratitude is an ocean and it pours into and overflows the sides of the cup. The magic of gratitude is that one need not feel particularly blessed to experience it. I feel like I should say that again because I need to hear that again. One need not feel particularly blessed to experience gratitude. So I'm going to invite you to do something really terrifying. Again? More? Yes. I would like you to gather yourselves in little groups of 3 or 4 and to share some of the things just in that small group. We're not going to pass microphones. It's not going to be a big announcement. But to share some of the things in your life for which you feel gratitude. And as you move into place, because it will require, some of you will just be able to pivot in your seats, but some of you might actually have to move. Ooh. So as you do, I would like you to notice that some folks aren't able to move, and perhaps you can make that 3Z, 4Z thing happen with some of them, okay? So folks online, there are more instructions. Folks online, if you're on the live stream now, you can chat. And I love that part of online. It's so quiet and peaceful. So, and those of you watching later, you can write in your journal. So the thing is to simply share and not respond. We are so, acculturated maybe. Often we just feel compelled to offer something in response. Oh, I had a feeling just like that. I know exactly what you mean. Those are words you should never use, even with your identical twin, because you don't know exactly what anyone is feeling. So it's receiving. It's having the courage to express and having the spaciousness to just receive it. And some folks will find themselves unwillingly in a group of 3 or 4. Not everyone has to share. It is okay to simply bear witness, but do be with people. And if you're close to people that you know are not going to share, and you're a not sharer, quickly create a group of 4 and just sit there quietly and wait till this thing is over. I see you. Okay, so go ahead. I will ring a chime when it's time for us to regather. Ready, get, set, go. It can be more than 3 or 4. As the conversation slowly quiets, notice the energy in the room. The weaving of words and experiences creates a tangible presence. It's so cool. So I invite you to take a moment and really look at this space that we're in, our gathering space, where we seek the sacred within and among us. Looking out the windows, up to the vaulted ceiling. As you're looking around, you might accidentally lock eyes with another. It's okay, smile, move on. Every time I come into this space, I'm amazed that I can smell the wood. After 60 years, the wood still greets us, sweet and warm. I can still smell it. As you take in this space, it's purposely indoor-outdoor invitation to explore the sacred. Its sturdy beams, their scent. I invite you to listen to a blessing, a prayer for this house of worship, which really is for this gathered community in all the ways we gather. May nothing evil cross this door, and may ill fortune never pry about these windows. May the roar and rain go by. By faith made strong, the rafters will withstand the battering of the storm. This hearth, though all the world grow chill, will keep you warm. Peace shall walk softly through these rooms, touching our lips with holy wine, till every casual corner blooms into a shrine. With laughter drown the raucous shout, and though these sheltering walls are thin, may they be strong to keep hate out and hold love in. Oh, friends, what a blessing for these troubled times. What gratitude. We've explored gratitude and grace, and we acknowledge the blessing that they are in our lives. And this could be the end of the service. It's not. Don't grab your bags. It could be the end of the service. that it would feel unfinished to me. And I feel very confident that even when you got into sharing coffee and coffee hour, there would be this gnawing something that we would try to fill with crackers and cheese and coffee. And it would take an incredible amount of coffee and crackers and cheese to fill that spiritual space that wants to be filled. What wants to be filled, Reverend Michelle? So glad when you ask important questions. What indeed? So as many of you know, I mostly avoid the news. I still haven't watched Kamala's concession speech. The president-elect's cabinet choices make my teeth hurt. And sometimes my husband and I sit on the swing in our backyard and have long conversations, probably just the same way you do. Conversations about climate change, about how the Gulf Stream is affecting weather patterns to unprecedented everything in all directions. Yeah, see, I knew that would resonate with you, that you have these same conversations. And we talk about maximizing our little corner of the world to grow food, to grow hope, to weave our family together. So friends, we need more than just gratitude and grace in these times. We are going to need grit. Not a day goes by that I don't receive emails from our National Association or the Ministers Association that offer websites and Zoom gatherings and workshops, and truly the list is endless. Everyone is standing at the entry to the cave called uncertainty, waving their arms and promising connection and clarity. Uncertainty. Uncertainty lives in a basement apartment in Queens. She hasn't worked for months, unable to keep her broken heart hidden or the pain that flares throughout her body under control. She can barely remember the days when she walked, strutted the busy streets, so confident in her abilities and hopeful to the inherent goodness of the world. Fear and doubt used to be roles that she would play, and now they are her constant companions, whispering in toxic tones. Uncertainty dresses carefully each morning, willing to face the day. But there are so many, uncertainties. Will she find work? Will her friends wonder where she's been? Will she find her way home again? So exhausted, she removes her coat and shoes and makes another cup of hot water, having run out of tea last week. Do you know that feeling, my friends? The newscasts, workshops, and Zoom gatherings with all of their parades and promises can sometimes ring a little hollow, at least to me. I think I need something more tangible. Maybe I need a seed catalog and to build a greenhouse, because I am completely useless as a gardener. I know. This I know deep in my heart. I need a theology that embraces the earth, that weeps with the earth, that demands my participation in healing the earth. So I guess my motto should be go big or go home. Of course, the earth is home, so there is that. I have a story for you. It's about a cup. Not an invisible cup this time. Well, maybe. It could be. Anyways, listen with your heart as I share a story. You are holding a cup of coffee when someone comes along and bumps into you or shakes your arm, making you spill your coffee everywhere. Why did you spill the coffee? Because someone bumped into me. Wrong answer. You spilled the coffee because there was coffee in your cup. Had there been tea in your cup, you would have spilled tea. Whatever is inside the cup is what will spill out. Therefore, when life comes along and shakes you, which will happen, whatever is inside you will come out. It's easy to fake it until you get rattled. And so we have to ask ourselves, what's in my cup? When life gets tough, what spills over? Joy, gratitude, peace, and humility? Anger, bitterness, victim mentality, and quitting tendencies? Life provides the cup. We choose how to fill it. Today, let's work toward filling our cups with gratitude, forgiveness, joy, words of affirmation, resilience, positivity, and kindness, gentleness, love for others. That's rough. That's going to take some grit. I looked up grit. 2 definitions, probably more. The 2 I cared about were 2. Courage and resolve, strength of character. I randomly remember reading a book called True Grit in like 7th grade, and that is as much as I remember. But I think it had something to do with that character trait, courage and resolve. But grit is also small, loose particles of stone or sand. Did you know that birds need grit, small particles of stone or sand, to digest their food? They don't have teeth. So they swallow stones or crushed shells to help them digest seeds. You're welcome. You're now officially part of Audubon. I made that up. A friend of mine has chickens. She drives 50 miles each way to buy crushed oyster shell to add to her chickens' feed so they can digest it. Now that feels theological to me. The Christian scriptures talk about spiritual growth in terms of food. People start with the theological equivalent of milk as babes in faith, and with discipline and doctrine, grow to be able to get to the meaty bits of the faith. My apologies to the vegetarians and vegans in the room. I didn't write the scriptures, I just read them and share them. But what about the grit? I think that's what we do as religious liberals. We add the grit. We want to know what and how and why. We don't just take scriptures at their word. We confront them, sometimes even crush them, to find what is true for us. And sometimes circumstances provide the grit, and that almost always leaves a lingering taste on our tongues. I would venture to say that the next 4 years are going to provide plenty of grit, and our job is to consume only enough of it to keep us sharp and connected, to be filled with courage and resolve. And so let us go into this season of gratitude, knowing that our lives are filled with grace, blessings beyond measure, even if our own cups are often empty or cracked. Let us go into this season of gratitude, not fat, happy, and drowsy from too much feasting, or maybe a little of that, but well-nourished and ready to transform blessings into courage and resolve, to hold out our cups and pour from the well of our uncertainty, trusting that this faith that sustains and challenges us is rooted in love. Let us continue to challenge ourselves and fill our cups with gratitude, forgiveness, joy, words of affirmation, resilience, positivity, and kindness, gentleness, and love for others, that we might be willing to build the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. It will take gratitude, grace, and grit. And I say, bring it.